Andrew, can you tell us a little bit more about PE investments and your approach to investing?
Sure. PE started in 1995. It started actually on bequest of a family office. So we've been actually doing this 30 years. The family office had a liquidation event and they wanted four things. They wanted an investment that was uncorrelated with equities. They wanted something that was equity-like return. They wanted to stay rich, not get rich, and they wanted daily liquidity. And so we've been doing that since 1995. Here in Australia, we actually partnered with Macquarie Bank in 2017 to bring a retail fund to the Australian market.
And can you tell us a bit more about the performance and diversification benefits that come with PE and investment with PE?
Yeah, if you go back to those four factors or four pillars as we call them, that's what we've actually been able to achieve. Over the last 25 years of a live performance here in Australia, we've generated cash plus 6, so it's equity-like returns. The key benefit is being uncorrelated, but the reason people invest in us more so is that we are negatively correlated in down equity markets. So we act as a defensive investment for their portfolios. So many investments, infrastructure, we'll say they're uncorrelated, which basically means they could go up or go down if equities goes up or down. It's just different. Whereas we tend to be negatively correlated in down equity markets, which means we go up when equities go down, and that's why people like us.
And how does your approach differentiate to other liquid alternatives in the market?
Yeah, our philosophy is that factors drive markets, but the importance of those factors varies through the economic cycle. So if you can imagine we have 8 factors, think of them as 8 different managers, and they all have a particular view of currency. And what we do is dynamically allocate to each of those managers. They're not managers, they're algorithms, but each of those factors throughout the cycle, depending on who's doing best. And what you'll see is that currency markets, or like the macro markets, tend to go through regimes. And one of those regimes will be characterised by a certain theme, and our factors typically will pick up that theme and put us in the portfolio to take advantage of it.
Is that a similar way to how you manage risk and volatility from a client's perspective?
Yeah, absolutely. So if we have those 8 factors each performing really well, then you'll see our leverage go up to our maximum, which is 3 times, which is lowly levered compared to our competitors. But we'll actually increase our risk if each of those managers are doing well. Conversely, if they're not doing well, you'll see our leverage decrease. So I said earlier that our maximum leverage is 3 times. We've been as low as 0.9. In other words, you've given me $100, I'm only using $90. Why? Because each of our 8 factors aren't working, so we're conserving risk and taking our investments off the table.
And what's the biggest misconception or question you get from financial advisors about liquid alternatives?
I was going to say the biggest one they ask is why PE, which is another story. Liquid alts, unfortunately in Australia, liquid alts had a bad reputation following the global financial crisis. As they say, all correlations went to 1. And this comes back because people looking at uncorrelated assets, not inversely correlated assets in down equity markets. And I think there's a distinction there. Because when I speak to financial planners, when they say they want something that's uncorrelated, what they actually mean is, I want something to go up when equities go down. So what we've done over the last 5 years, I think, as an industry, is define that better. We now talk about defensive alternatives. We now talk about being uncorrelated or inversely correlated in down equity markets. So being more specific like that, and I think that will overcome the problems we had post the global financial crisis.
Andrew, thank you.
Pleasure. Good to see you.